for joining. Today I'm going to be making a lavender soap with the shea butter base, and I'm going to show you some of the supplies that I'm using for this tutorial. It's going to be really simple. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like watching me make melt and pour videos. So this is a soap mold that's just 6 cavities. These hold about 4 ounces each. And then I also have the soap base measured out. I'm doing 24 ounces total, 18 ounces of this right here, and then I have another 6 set aside. This is Jam Session from Nurture Soap. We're going to do that in purple for the lavender fragrance, and this is the lavender essential oil. If you are using essential oils, make sure you get something that is 100% pure essential oil and not diluted with other oils. I'm also using jojoba beads. It's kind of an experiment with melt and pour since I haven't done that before, and I'll let you know how that went as we go on. But first I went ahead and melted down the 18 ounces of the white soap base, and I'm adding some mica to it. I do spritz them a little bit with rubbing alcohol sometimes just so that they stir in easier, but most of the time I don't even do that because I don't seem to have a problem getting it to disperse all the way. Part of what I was doing with this though is measuring just part of the soap because I wanted to do on the top of the design for this soap, I wanted to have a scrubby part with those jojoba beads. So I was just trying to get as much as I could melted down of this and then get it ready to pour into the mold. And I went ahead and added about a tablespoon of the essential oil. I did a little bit less than that because I don't want to overdo it with essential oils. So make sure that you're always using the proper usage rate, which for most essential oils is 1 tablespoon per pound of essential oils. So once the soap base was fully melted down and I had incorporated the color 100% and the essential oil was mixed in well, I went ahead and just dispersed it into the cavities as evenly as I could as possible, and then I let it sit for a little bit. While I was letting it sit, I went ahead and chopped up the other soap that I had set aside and get that ready so it would be ready when this soap was dry enough, or not dry, but you know, the skin had started to form. So I also took a fork and kind of just started to poke along the top of it. I didn't want to really break down into the layer, but just so when I would pour the second layer of soap, it'd adhere nicely and it wouldn't come apart later. So I'm adding the jojoba beads. These are not the same as micro beads. It's a totally different product. These are heat soluble. They melt in the water. They're not going to hurt the drain or anything like that. You do have to add them in slowly, especially when you're adding them to melt and pour soap. I don't even know if it's a good idea to really use them. I don't know if I'll use them again, but they do kind of start to melt a little bit if it's too hot. And I believe the melting point for these when I looked it up was at like 140 degrees. The other issue that I had with them though is that they were floating on top of the soap. So if I was going to do this again and add them to soap, I think what I would do next time is just wait till the soap is starting to form a skin on it and then add the beads to the actual soap itself. See how they're kind of floating on top, and then when I actually poured them in the soap mold, you could see on the final product too that they were kind of just, they had all floated up to the top again. And as you can see as I'm pouring this, that the jojoba beads are kind of floating all around, and you can kind of start to notice, especially with me speeding up the video, that they are starting to kind of float to the top a little bit. I didn't want to mix them up too much because I was worried that it would bust through the other layer and then see they're moving too when I spritz it with alcohol. but they would burst to the other layer and I didn't want them kind of mixed in. So that's a close-up. And this is the next day. I went ahead and just took them out of the mold. They came out really nicely once I loosened everything up. And it still is a really great bar of soap, but like I said, there was just some issues with the way that it turned out. So there's the purple color, looks nice. I like the white. The top is really textured. I just wish that that would have stayed like throughout the entire top area and not just like densely at the very top layer, so you can kind of see the difference there. It's only a little bit of beads right at the top, and then there's like a layer of white, and then the purple starts. So not exactly what I wanted, but it was a fun experiment, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, give a thumbs up if you have questions, or if you want to see me do something else, just leave some information down in the what am I talking about? In the comments. You know what the right words are, not me. All right, you guys have a good day, and thanks for watching.